Hey, I'm Des.
Hey y'all, I'm Sai.
And we're the co-hosts of Let's Talk Sis podcast, where we truly believe that together empowered women can transform their lives.
Join us for heartfelt stories, enlightening conversations, and a whole lot of accountability along the way. Hey y'all. So
Hey.
We're back with another episode, and today we are diving right into...
Yes, I think we should talk about needs versus wants.
Okay, let's get into it.
I feel like a lot of us confuse the two. And a lot of us, I'm speaking in reference to myself, because there's a lot of things that I may just want and I feel as though I need. And I feel like this topic can go a bunch of different directions as far as like relationships, friendships, just life. Yeah. I think they two words that we should discuss today.
All right, let's get into it.
Do you know the difference between your wants and your needs?
Yeah, I think so.
When you think about the things you need and the things you want in a relationship, what do those things look like?
I think my needs and wants are kind of black and white in a sense. I think that they might vary according to like situation, but needs and wants as far as definition or like value remains the same. So in a relationship it will mean the same to me personally. So with that being said, I think that a need would be like a non-negotiable, something that I absolutely cannot go without. And then a want is kind of like associated with compromise in a sense. It's something that I know I want it. It might not be good for me, or it might not be beneficial. Might even be something that I have to compromise or sacrifice. But there's a part of me that still lusts for it.
Okay.
How about you?
I can agree that needs are definitely non-negotiables. Wants, for me, like I said, I sometimes mix up the two because the things that I want, I sometimes feel like I need as well, because I just want it and I feel like I should have everything I want, especially in a relationship, if that's what we're talking about specifically. But sometimes they are situational, because like you said, I feel like it's more of a compromising with your wants. You can survive without your wants. You could still be in a relationship without your wants, or a friendship, or whatever the case may be. But needs is like, I don't know. What are some examples of needs or wants in a relationship?
For me personally,
Yeah. Like, what would you say? Like, I need this, but this is something I want that I could just let go.
Okay. A need for me would be respect. That would kind of be in a relationship or in a friendship. And then a want for me would be to say that I want somebody who is like successful and have it all figured out and stuff, in a sense. I think that's like...
That's a want? So you can do without?
Yeah, I can. I think I can realistically. Especially because we talked about a plan. Like,
somebody
always
with a plan.
Valuing someone with an actionable plan. Let me add that in there. Because we also talked about like dreamers and visionaries and things like that. So I think that a lot of times I personally get in the habit of like measuring someone else's life in comparison to mine, but not in a sense of like imposter syndrome, but also like in a sense of like standard and criteria. And I think that as women we tend to do this because me and my girlfriends often have these conversations. But I also feel like, I don't want to say it's unrealistic, but I kind of feel like you just narrow down your chances of who you'll end up with if that is the case, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But I'm also 25, so I'm thinking like if I actually decide to date somebody my age, I think I have to be a little bit more flexible, because honestly, no matter what I have accomplished personally, I'm still figuring it out, but I have a plan. So
yeah, that's definitely. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I do want to add that you definitely gotta be farther along in your plan than I am in mine. So
for what, leadership and guidance? As far as if we talk about outside of your relationships, like all relationships aside, if we're not talking about a significant other, what about your platonic relationships? Do you have needs and wants there as well? Do you feel like you have needs and wants in every dynamic of your life, or some areas just like these are just wants, like it's all, compromisable?
I think that every area of my life, especially because I am very intentional in these areas, I think that they all require me to set some sort of criteria of like needs and wants. And I think that's just kind of like a guideline to keep me aligned with my standard in a sense.
What is your standard? What would you say your standard is?
Well, I'm not talking about like a relationship standard or anything like that. I'm just saying like my standard in life. So whether that be a personal need or want, or a need or want that I'm looking for in a friend, or a need or want that I'm looking for in a partner, like those help me reinforce the things that I'm looking for in those areas. So are needs and wants something that is typically discussed on like a first date for you, or is it like a third date type of thing?
It depends. It's been on first dates many times, and sometimes it will come on a later date, like a second or third date, or sometimes it won't come at all because it won't be a second or third date. I feel like the first date is really filling each other out, filling that person out to see if they're even worth your time. So
ultimately, what's your perspective towards needs and wants?
I gave it in the beginning. I said I personally feel like it goes hand in hand with boundaries a little bit, I think. I personally sometimes confuse the two because I am sometimes entitled and I feel like everything that I want, I need, and I should have. So I have a hard time sometimes with getting to that compromisable level and willing to give up wants that I want, because at that point you said it's like something you're willing to compromise. Are you compromising the things you want for the things that the other person wants?
Well, I never looked at it at compromise like that.
How do you look at it?
I kind of looked at it like this is a maybe and this is a hard no.
Okay, that's good.
So for me, it's like, okay, I might have 10 boxes, and within those 10 boxes, let's say 5 might be needs and 5 might be wants or whatever, right?
Oh, so one could be like, I want somebody with no kids.
Yeah, but that's also not a hard no for me. Like, I'm not one of those females that are hell bent on like, I'm not dating a man who already has a kid, or me and this guy has to be our first child. That's not me. So that would be, okay, I'll say that, but I'm still open to the possibility of this. Like, I'm willing to compromise on this because maybe you check all these other boxes and you might also check that box too. Yeah. So kind of like, I
definitely understand that.
That's how I weigh my whole scale of needs and wants, but
that's more understandable because it's like, and the reason why I mentioned that is because I was the person for a very long time that said like, I don't want to date anybody with kids until someone came along with kids. And but I also feel like overall in like the final scheme of things, is that not reality for me to want every single box to be checked?
I'm not sure.
I feel like missing out on a box or two is like, I'm not really for you. Like, is that not reality? I feel like it's possible. I don't know, maybe I read too many books or watch too many movies, but I truly feel like it's possible for somebody to check every single box, and then that's how I'm gonna know they're my person.
I love that for you.
I asked you a question. You don't think that's possible?
I mean, in general,
is that not reality?
I mean, that's not my reality of things. I really don't want to be the older lady who's going to be the cat lady.
So you're willing to
a little bit
settle.
I'm willing to compromise, not settle. Settling will be going against the grain of what a hard no is. Compromise is this, okay, this is a maybe, so I can meet you in the middle.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
Settling is, I said no in the beginning, and just because you checked all these other boxes, I'm giving up something that really means something of substance to me just to make this work. That's settling.
Okay, can I change the direction of the conversation just a tad bit? So when you think, what are your boxes that has to be checked?
I think that it varies and they change, so I really haven't quite given it a moment of consideration, especially because I just got out of a situation. So today,
you don't have boxes?
Yeah, I'm not, like, I can't give you the rundown of what are all my boxes.
So how would you know if your dream person ran into you if you don't even know what your dream person is?
I think for me it comes down to like the foundational stuff, like respect and ambition and God-fearing, like things like that.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, so moving forward, do you feel like you're good at setting boundaries? Or not setting boundaries, but sticking to your boundaries, standing on your boundaries. Like, this is it. These are my lines, and I'm never crossing them, and you shouldn't either. Like, do you feel like you stick to your boundaries?
I think that if I establish boundaries, then I am good at setting them.
You good at sticking to them?
Yep. I feel like if I establish boundaries, then I am good at sticking to them. How about you? Nah.
I feel like that's not true. When I do establish boundaries, I stick to them. My problem
How
is
are you stealing my response?
I agree, like I do, because you're saying nah, so I'm telling you I do. But my problem is setting them in the first place. I have a hard time setting the boundaries in the first place because I am on a strong battle with being a non-people pleaser. So with trying to fight the urge of the people-pleasing disease.
It's so crazy how
I
we
know.
on season 2, episode 3,
and I said,
you just now admitting that you're a people pleaser, but in episode 2 of season 1,
I've also admitted that I've been in denial for a very long time.
I never needed it. Are you confusing this with that? Like,
yeah, so
transparency on the mic.
Yeah. With being a people pleaser though, setting boundaries be pretty hard because I truly want to see the people around me happy. And when it comes to, it's like a scary mind thing, because when it comes to setting boundaries, it's like one of those, okay, I could say this is something I don't want to do. It's a hard no for me. I don't want to do it. So I'm going to set this boundary. But also knowing that doing this will make that person really happy, I really do kind of want to do it. So then it's like, how can I set the boundary? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand, but I don't relate.
I don't think you do.
Like, things
I
for
hate
me,
it.
or like, if it's a hard no, it's a hard no. I'm not doing it. I'm not budging.
But that's what I'm saying. It's no.
Nothing.
It don't be. It depends on it. Because if it's a hard no, like, there's things I have hard no's to, and they are hard no's. But when it comes to, like I said, my friends and my loved ones in certain areas, it's like, all right, I don't really feel like this. But then again, I don't know.
Because if I don't feel like it, I don't do it.
Yeah. I have I don't know.
It's no amount of manipulation. It's no amount of guilt or nothing.
That's what it is. It's definitely not manipulation.
Because that will make me do something I don't want to do.
It's not manipulation at all, because because I feel like I have a pretty good sense of manipulation, or when someone's, it does, and I feel like I know.
So are you admitting that you're a manipulator?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying it takes one to know one. I know. So
it takes one to know one, but you know.
I can identify manipulation on many levels, most times, not every single time, but most times. And the people that I care for and love and care about the things that, they want, those type of people, they don't manipulate, like, they don't try to manipulate me or make me feel bad or anything. It's a personal thing. Like, I do be feeling guilt, but it's personal. don't nobody make me feel guilty. It don't be no, because once, if I feel like that, now I don't want to do it, and that's just what that is. But when I still want to do things out the kindness of my heart, it's just like I said, it's the people pleasing urge that I'm currently in a strong battle with fighting. So, praying to the Lord above, within the next 30 to 60 days, my therapist does her job and knocks it out. And life will be grand again.
I love that for you.
So do I.
So you asked me earlier if I knew what my needs and wants were in a relationship. What are yours?
Okay, so my needs are respect, honesty, you have to be spiritual. I don't want to say, because you have to be spiritual, but you gotta believe in like Jesus. Seriously. But yeah, honesty, trustworthy, someone that honors me, and someone that honors women, I would like to say as well. Because there's guys that like, they'll treat you nice but be disrespectful as hell to like their mother and like other women, and I don't like stuff like that. I need a gentleman. Chivalry is really big for me. Like all of the little stuff matters to me a whole lot. Once I want somebody that's a bit established. I want somebody with no kids. I want somebody with a good relationship with their family. I think I need that, actually. I don't know. I might write this list down and come back to it. I think I set the ground points down. I'm sure it's a bunch more wants that I'm missing on right now, but
yeah, I think this will be a good personal activity.
Yeah, that's why I just said I'm gonna write it down
to dive into.
So yeah, overall, I feel like identifying the difference between your wants and needs is very important.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, so you can know what it is for you moving forward, because you can't know if you've got your dream person, or you can't know true happiness if you don't even know what it is you desire.
That's good.
So, yeah.
I think this conversation, even though it was like amongst us, was a good like self-reflecting type of conversation. Like maybe a conversation I probably need to revisit by myself in a sense.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. It's definitely something like I think a lot of conversations like this are conversations. These are like journaling prompts, like things that should be written down when you're with yourself and your inner thoughts.
Yeah, I think the essence of our podcast is similar to like having those conversations that could also be converted over into journal prompts. Essentially, I think that because it's just you and I, we haven't had any guests on. It makes it really easy for it to be like an interview style.
Yeah, pretty personal.
But yeah, like I was about to say personal self-reflection. Type of thing, and I think that that's really good for us in a sense. Because I don't feel like we have a lot of these conversations for the first time on camera, but I feel like we dive into them on camera
for the first time. And I also wanted to say I love that, yes, we have these conversations where we like learning ourselves and also learning each other, but I love that we have them on camera, because it's like everybody's on this journey with us. It's like we're all experiencing it together in a way. So I feel like it's easy to be pretty transparent and open with our viewers. That's why we need y'all to write questions in chat. Need some more questions. So it'll be more of an open discussion.
Yeah, I agree with that. I could see an open discussion, kind of. I guess controlling the narrative.
It definitely
or direction of
the
conversation.
Yep. So I feel like this was like a quick chat.
Yeah.
I always enjoy talking with you.
Yeah. I know my energy seems pretty low, but I'm extremely tired. It is 1 a.m. and we have a very, very, very busy week ahead of us.
Do we?
And ultimately, I guess I just want to say thank you for tuning in, and I'm ready to go to sleep.
Toodles.
Bye, y'all. Wait, before y'all go.
Oh, yeah. How do we forget everything?
How do we forget to plug in everything?
Before we go, guys, please don't forget to shop our 2024 personal organizer and our conversational card game at dearsisterletstalk.com. And y'all know we have a 15% off. Is it 15? Or is it more? 15. We have a 15% off discount code for you guys. If you type in DSPOD at checkout to save some money.
Yeah.
Prepare for 2024. We're already here. And time is crunching. Make sure you stick to them resolutions and them goals that you set at the beginning of the year. And get your journal so you can make sure you still maintain them throughout the entire year. You got anything to add on?
Nope. I second everything you said.
Well, guys, thanks for tuning in to another week with us. Toodles.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning into our podcast, Let's Talk Sis, with Des and Sa.
Stay connected by following us on all of your favorite social media platforms. And don't forget, use hashtag DearSisterLet'sTalk to find us.
Wait, before you go, head over to our website or our Instagram and join our interactive community for a daily dose of sisterhood, where like-minded women fellowship, encourage, and create a safe space amongst one another.
See you inside, sis.
Toodles.
Bye.